This is Don Loudon's property. I'm in the backyard. We're doing a quote for bi-weekly maintenance. So starting out, we're going to be controlling all of the weeds in the front and backyard. There's no lawn. The weeds we're going to be spraying in the pathways, in the planter beds, but I wanted to point out there's grapes growing here, and then vegetables over there. In the vegetable areas, we're not spraying anything. All we're doing is using a hoe or just pulling weeds in there, but no spray near the vegetables. In here, we are gonna treat these areas to make sure the weeds aren't growing. Especially in here, there's a very invasive weed in here that's gonna need extra attention. In the beginning, we are gonna need to pull this, and then hopefully when we see little ones coming up, we'll spray it. The client did say they're really hard to kill off, so we might have to pull it by hand. The grapevines, all we need to do is make sure they're not growing over the fence. You see how this grapevine is starting to grow into this other vine right here, so we need to just hand prune it back to kind of keep it in that area, and that's all we need to do. Same thing with this vine, just keep it from getting out of control. We'll use a hedge trimmer on this vine. The grapes are hand pruned. This laurel right here, we're gonna just hedge trim it to make sure it doesn't get out of control. Main focus is weeds. Things like suckers like this, we're gonna prune them when we're doing our visit, when they're popping up. So grapes are going all alongside the perimeter of the property. These are obviously growing onto the trellis. We're gonna leave that alone. But other grapes, you could see where the client is already kind of training them to go on the fence, but don't let them go over the fence. And then obviously, like right there, it's growing on the ground. We want to prune that back. Let's see. This is the vegetable area. We're not going to be spraying inside these planters. Just outside of it, there's more vegetables here. This rosemary, just trim it regularly. Don't let it get out of control. Keep it contained to this area. This African iris, it's definitely getting out of control, so we're going to be trimming it regularly to keep it away from the pathway and away from the AC unit. And there are valves. There's a valve manifold. We want to trim it away. So once we trim it, once a year in the winter time, we're going to cut it all the way down, but during the year we're just going to trim it back. When we do trim it in the winter, we're gonna very carefully with the shovel dig out some rhizomes where it's spread to kind of keep it contained in a smaller area. Do be careful because there are irrigation wires here, so make sure that we don't hit those. Front yard is there's no vegetables, so we have hedge trimming, these hedges, and then weeds obviously. There's a smoke bush right here. We want to make sure it doesn't grow above the roof line here, and then hand prune away from the house. This shouldn't be trimmed with the hedge trimmer, just by hand. Maintain the height and keep it away from the house. Everything here is in really good condition. Just make sure the weeds don't get out of control. The loropetalums, all the shrub type plants, we're going to use a hedge trimmer on. And then including these heavenly bamboos, eventually, hopefully they get healthier. They're kind of struggling a little bit, but we're just going to shape those up. And so right here, these guys, shape those as well. For the asparagus ferns, just spent growth we're going to remove, and that's it. We're not shaping these obviously. And then keep the ground cover from like that one from growing into other plants or into the pathway. We want to make sure we keep that maintained, and that's it. Beautiful yard, just got to make sure that it stays beautiful.